There is something wrong with your body every night, not with a disease, not with an injury, with the brain itself. Sometime between 90 minutes and 2 hours after you fall asleep, a structure deep in your brainstem fires a signal down your spinal cord that cuts motor command to every voluntary muscle in your body. Your arms go offline. Your legs go offline. You are alive, generating one of the most vivid and emotionally intense experiences of your day. This happens to you tonight. It happened last night. It has happened every night of your life since before you were old enough to form a memory of it. And the reason it happens is stranger than most people expect. What it reveals about the nature of consciousness. Start with what the system is actually called and what it actually does. REM Atonia. REM stands for rapid eye movement, the sleep stage in which almost all vivid dreaming occurs. Atonia means the absence of muscle tone. The structure responsible is the ventromedial medulla, a region in the brainstem that during REM sleep sends inhibitory signals through the spinal cord that actively suppress motor output to your skeletal muscles. Not passively, not by switching off, by firing a continuous suppressing signal that intercepts every motor command your brain generates before it reaches muscle tissue. The diaphragm is exempted. You keep breathing. The extraocular muscles are exempted. Your eyes keep moving. Everything else, every muscle you could use to act on the world, is held in continuous, active, deliberate suspension. The system does not slip. It does not drift. It runs with the precision of infrastructure that evolution has been refining for hundreds of millions of years. Fish demonstrate REM like sleep states. Birds cycle through them. Every mammal studied shows REM sleep. The platypus, one of the most evolutionarily ancient living mammals, spends more time in REM than almost any other animal measured. Whatever this system is protecting, it has been protecting it since before the first land animal walked on this planet. Here is where it becomes genuinely difficult to sit with. During REM sleep, your motor cortex fires. The commands go out. Studies using neuroimaging on sleeping subjects show motor cortex activation patterns during REM that are comparable to those recorded during waking physical activity. Your brain is not passively watching a dream. It is running one. Full simulation, full motor output, full emotional activation. The amygdala and anterior cingulate cortex show higher activity during REM than at almost any point in your waking day. Your brain is generating commands to act, and your brainstem is intercepting every single one of them before they become movement. Every night without your awareness, without your consent. Because without that interception, you would act out everything you dream. We know this because sometimes the system fails. REM sleep behavior disorder is a condition in which atonia does not fully engage during REM. The inhibitory signal is incomplete. The muscles stay active, and the person executes their dreams in real time. They punch, they kick, they run. They shout, they throw themselves from beds and into walls, not from disturbance, but from dream logic that their body is now faithfully carrying out. In documented clinical cases, patients have described waking mid-swing, mid-fall, confused and mid-motion, the dream still vivid, the body already committed to an action the waking mind had no awareness of initiating. Partners have been injured. The dream felt completely real. The body simply agreed. REM sleep behavior disorder is also one of the earliest and most reliable biomarkers for Parkinson's disease. Up to 80% of people diagnosed with it will develop Parkinson's or a related neurodegenerative condition within 10 to 15 years of onset. The brainstem structures responsible for generating REM atonia are among the first regions damaged in the neurodegeneration that eventually produces Parkinson's. The paralysis system and the motor system are built on the same architecture. When the structures that suppress movement begin to degrade, the structures that produce movement follow. What presents as a sleep disorder is the nervous system marking its own damage years before the clinical symptoms arrive. Now consider the opposite failure. Sleep paralysis occurs when REM atonia persists into waking consciousness. The dream ends. Awareness returns. The inhibitory signal does not lift. You are conscious-oriented, capable of thought, aware of the room around you, and completely unable to move. The average episode lasts between 20 seconds and 2 minutes. Most people who experience it report durations that felt significantly longer. Approximately 8% of the general population will have at least one episode. Among people with disrupted sleep schedules, irregular circadian rhythms, or high chronic stress, the rate is substantially higher. What accompanies the paralysis is what makes the phenomenon genuinely strange. In a large proportion of documented episodes, people report a presence, not a vague unease, a specific, located directional felt presence. Something at the foot of the bed, something in the corner, something directly overhead. In many cases, a physical weight on the chest, pressing down, making breathing feel obstructed, despite the fact that breathing continues normally throughout. This experience is documented across centuries and across every inhabited continent. Medieval European accounts named it the night hag. West African tradition called it the Ogun Oru. Newfoundland folklore named it the old hag. In Japan, it is kanashibari. In Brazil, pisadira. A crushing presence arriving in the night, pinning the body down. Every culture produced the same figure independently, because they were all having the same neurological event. The mechanism is now reasonably well understood. During the transition out of REM, the brain's threat detection systems, still running at the elevated activation of dream states, can misfire. The felt presence is the brain's body schema system, the network that models the boundary between self and environment, generating a mislocated body image that registers as an external entity. The weight on the chest is the brain misreading the residual suppression of motor responsiveness as external pressure. The fear is real. The sense of being watched is real. The entity is the brain's own shutdown procedure, reflected back at itself, perceived as a threat from outside. Centuries of folklore. One brainstem transition. Here is what the data keeps returning to. You do not experience REM atonia. You do not feel the inhibitory signal engage. You do not feel your muscles switch off or your motor commands being intercepted. You lose voluntary motor control for 90 minutes every night and you register none of it. The system is so precisely timed, so deeply embedded, so ancient in its architecture that it has become entirely invisible to the consciousness it is running underneath. But what is it protecting that consciousness from exactly? The leading hypothesis is this. Dreaming is not passive replay. It is active simulation. The brain uses REM sleep to rehearse threat responses, consolidate emotional memory, and stress test behavioral decisions in an environment where the consequences of failure are not real. For that simulation to function, it must be convincing. For it to be convincing, it must recruit the same systems that drive waking behavior, including the motor system. And for those systems to fire without the body acting on a simulation as though it were reality, the output must be intercepted before it reaches the muscles. REM atonia is not a side effect of dreaming. It is the mechanism that makes dreaming survivable. Every night, your brain constructs a complete high-fidelity simulation of experience and runs it with full emotional intensity and full motor output. And every night, a structure older than the neocortex, older than language, older than almost everything that makes you recognizably human, catches every command before it becomes action, so that you can keep doing this every night, without ever once acting on the wrong reality, until it slips. And then you are standing in the dark at 3 a.m, mid-swing, the dream dissolving, and for just a moment you are not certain which world you just came from. The honest answer is that we do not fully understand what dreaming is for. The paralysis system is mapped. The pathology of its failure is documented. What the simulation is building, what it is rehearsing, what the brain is preparing you for each night in a theater it keeps locked from the outside. That question is still open. The data shows the mechanism. It shows what happens when the mechanism fails in both directions. It does not show what it is like to be the thing the mechanism is protecting, whether there is something it is like at all, or whether the self that wakes each morning is simply what survives the nightly interception. That question is sitting where the researchers left it, open, next to the body that keeps going under and keeps coming back and has no memory of the distance between.